Buckeye Nation, what's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with my Ohio State Buckeyes Grambling State Tigers Week 2 game preview as our 1-0, number 1 ranked, reigning, defending national champions, Ohio State Buckeyes, welcome the also 1-0 Grambling State Tigers to the Horseshoe for the first time ever. And guess what? This game is at 3:30 p.m. on Big Ten Network. All right. So that means I get to wake up, watch the noon games, and then watch Ohio State take care of business, because let's be honest, that's what they're going to do. And then get ready to watch, hopefully, the Sooners put a whooping on the Wolverines. Right? Yeah. That's going to be fun. Now, as far as the preview for this game, it's not going to be much because we don't have a history against these guys. Again, this is the first ever matchup between Grambling State and Ohio State. And this is actually the second time ever that Ohio State has faced off against an HBCU team. And the last time Ohio State faced an HBCU team was all the way back in 2013 when Florida A&M came to the Horseshoe and Ohio State beat them 76-0. In fact, you look at the stats for that game, Kenny Guyton was the quarterback once upon a time. He threw for 6 touchdowns. Yeah. And those touchdowns went to the likes of Evan Spencer, Jeff Hireman, Devin Smith, Chris Fields, and Carlos Hyde. Now, on the ground, Ezekiel Elliott, 14 carries, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cardale Jones, 8 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. So, yeah, that went about as you'd expect. Right? Now, what about this game? Do I expect the same thing this week? Tomorrow? Yeah, something like that. We'll see how Grambling does, but you look at last week, Grambling State faced something called Langston University, and they beat them 55-7. Now, people look at that and think, "Oh my God, Grambling might actually be something something scary." Huh? Come on. Not trying to, hate on Grambling, but come on. Like, we're talking about an FCS team, I mean, we got the upper echelon of the Big Ten, the best team in the nation in the FBS, facing Grambling State. Now, here's what's actually shocking. In that game against Langston, Langston's leading rusher had 0 yards. It's not even possible. Well, they had 2 players register negative yardage. Yeah, they had a player who had -6 rushing yards and a player who had -26 rushing yards. Their leading passer had 83 passing yards and a touchdown. Now, I mean, you look at the team stats and it makes sense. Langston barely had the ball. 6 first downs. I mean, God, look at this freaking play-by-play chart. Punt, downs, fumble, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, punt, fumble, touchdown, punt, downs, punt, touchdown, fumble, touchdown, punt, missed field goal, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, down, touchdown, touchdown, fumble, downs, punt, 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 end of game. That's how that game went. Now, what do you expect for this game? Well, let's go back to the last time we played an HBCU team. This is how that game went. Punt, pick, rushing touchdown, punt, passing touchdown for Buckeyes, punt, passing touchdown, punt, passing touchdown, interception, passing touchdown. It's getting kind of funny. Punt, rushing touchdown, punt, passing touchdown, punt, passing touchdown, end of half. That's the first half. Holy crap. And then third quarter, rushing touchdown, punt, rushing touchdown, punt. Okay. And then fourth quarter was punt, rushing touchdown, end of game. So if you look, Ohio State pretty much damn near scored on every single drive, except for 2 drives. One was the interception, and one was a punt. And that punt came in the fourth quarter. Expect something like that tomorrow. It'd be worse. It might just end up being punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown. It's not like a damn song. Punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punch, touchdown. You know, I got a bold take here. Ohio State's first punt tomorrow won't come until the backups are in. It's bold, isn't it? Although State might take a little bit to really get going, but we'll see. But I expect the Buckeyes to let it rip tomorrow. Right? Really get the offense in a rhythm. And then, of course, they got Ohio next week, and I believe they have a bye, and then they go to Washington to start Big Ten play. So, as if there's any doubt that we're going to win. I mean, of course we're going to win, really. Unless the team just doesn't show up, but you never know. But anyways, let's get into the keys to a Buckeye win. I could have just put show up, but I put in the following. 1, no, don't overlook Grambling State. Let me actually make this smaller. There you go. Now y'all can see my face clearly. Look, Grambling State. You come out and play serious ball, there should really be no issue. Number 2, stay focused. Number 3, get through this game healthy. And again, fun fact, this is the second time ever that Ohio State has played an HBCU team. Florida A&M in 2013, Ohio State won 76-0. I believe this is the 5th ever matchup between Ohio State and an FCS team. Most of those games are against Youngstown State. But yeah, you get the idea. We don't play FCS teams a whole lot. Now, before I get into the other stuff, we got some visits and stuff to go over for this week. Week 2 visits, not a lot of players in attendance. Favor Key recently announced that he'll be in town. And then 2027 quarterback commit Brady Edmonds. And then tight end JT Geraci, tackle Khalil Johnson, linebacker Jackson Reynolds, who did receive an offer. That's what those 2 asterisks mean. Defensive back Angelo Smith. Now, if that last name sounds familiar, that's Jeremiah's brother. And he's probably going to be at almost every game. Most likely. That he can attend, if Chaminade isn't playing. He'll be at every game he can get to. And then 2028 receiver Mason Anderson. And then we also got some boom watches as well. For the class of 2027, we have 4-star edge rusher Reynaldo Perez, 4-star tackle Khalil Johnson, and then 2 other tackles in Mason Wilt and Kellen Weimer. And then class of 2028, we got one for 4-star receiver Eric McFarland from IMG Academy. Those were all crystal balls placed by Steve Wiltfong recently. And now getting into players to watch. Offense, I'm going to say Brandon Innes. I think he'll get in the end zone in this game. And then defensively, Arvell Reese. I think he'll get a couple sacks. For sure. Prediction. I could have just put Ohio State, whatever they want. Grambling 6. But just to be nice, I'm going to say Buckeyes 63-3. Now, of course, with the running clock and stuff, I don't think we're going to score 70. And if I know Grambling, they're probably going to try to play keep away, grind that clock down, and shorten the game. If Ohio State can force turnovers, they could score 70 for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I will be live 3:30 or about 3:15 for the game. So hope you guys tune in and we can have some fun. All right? And then, by the end, it'll probably just be me trolling and lollygagging around with the chat. This game is not going to be close. It shouldn't be. If Ohio State plays a serious brand of ball, it should not be close at all. But we should also be able to get a good look at the freshmen as well. But yeah, with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Bucking Crazy YouTube channel. And week 2's here. Let's get it. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Bucks. OH. I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah.